The 1970s represented sci-fi's golden age of ideas over spectacle. Before CGI dominated storytelling, filmmakers crafted intelligent narratives with practical effects, complex characters, and philosophical depth. These 10 classics prove that great science fiction comes from imagination and themes, not expensive digital effects and universe-ending explosions. 10. Logans Run, 1976. Michael York and Jenny Agutter star in this dystopian masterpiece where society executes citizens at age 30 to maintain population control. The film's exploration of youth obsession, hedonistic culture, and mandatory death feels remarkably prescient in our age-obsessed society. The practical effects and elaborate miniature work create a believable future city that feels lived in rather than digital. The dome sequences and crystal-embedded palms showcase 1970s craftsmanship that modern CGI rarely matches for tactile authenticity. Unlike modern dystopian films that focus on action over ideas, Logans Run maintains philosophical weight throughout its adventure narrative. The exploration of what happens when pleasure becomes mandatory and aging is forbidden provides genuine food for thought. The film's themes about sacrifice for societal stability and questioning accepted truths remain more relevant than ever. Modern sci-fi often settles for surface-level social commentary, while Logans Run digs deep into fundamental questions about life, death, and human value that contemporary films rarely dare to explore. 9. Westworld, 1973. Michael Crichton's prescient vision of AI rebellion predates modern robot narratives by decades while delivering superior thrills through practical effects and genuine tension. Yul Brynner's malfunctioning gunslinger creates menace that CGI characters rarely achieve through pure physical presence and piercing stare. The film's premise, a theme park where wealthy guests can live out fantasies with lifelike robots, anticipates virtual reality, AI consciousness, and technology addiction with startling accuracy. Crichton explores themes about artificial intelligence, human nature, and technology dependence that modern films treat superficially. The practical effects work, including Brynner's computer vision POV shots, creates convincing futuristic technology without relying on flashy digital effects. The mechanical breakdown sequences feel genuinely unsettling through makeup and practical craftsmanship. Unlike modern AI films that focus on spectacular action sequences, Westworld builds psychological tension through character development and escalating dread. The slow revelation of the robot's malfunction creates genuine suspense that contemporary blockbusters sacrifice for immediate gratification. Crichton understood that the most effective sci-fi explores technology's impact on human behavior rather than showcasing digital spectacle. 8. The Omega Man, 1971. Charlton Heston delivers a powerhouse performance as the sole survivor of a biological weapon that transforms humanity into nocturnal mutants. This adaptation of Richard Matheson's I Am Legend explores isolation, paranoia, and survival, with psychological depth that modern zombie films completely abandon. The film's exploration of racial dynamics, social breakdown, and scientific responsibility feels remarkably contemporary. Heston's character maintains sanity through routine and purpose while facing absolute loneliness, themes that resonate powerfully in our socially isolated digital age. The practical locations of empty Los Angeles create authentic post-apocalyptic atmosphere that expensive CGI cityscapes cannot match. The film's low-budget realism makes the devastation feel genuinely threatening rather than spectacular. Unlike modern zombie blockbusters that prioritize action over character development, the Omega Man focuses on psychological survival and human connection. The relationship between Heston's scientist and the survivors he discovers provides emotional weight that contemporary films sacrifice for constant zombie action. The film's meditation on what makes us human and how civilization maintains itself remains more thoughtful than any modern post-apocalyptic spectacle. 7. Soilent Green, 1973.
Soilent Green has been exhausted. Return to your home.
Charlton Heston investigates a murder in an overpopulated future where synthetic food may hide a horrifying secret. The film's environmental themes about resource depletion, climate change, and social inequality feel remarkably prescient in our current climate crisis era. The practical New York locations, transformed through clever production design and crowd control, create convincing overpopulation that digital effects rarely achieve. The heat wave sequences and food riots feel authentically threatening through real people and practical staging. Unlike modern climate fiction that relies on spectacular disaster sequences, Soilent Green focuses on how environmental collapse affects daily life and human relationships. The investigation structure allows gradual revelation of societal breakdown rather than immediate catastrophe. Edward G. Robinson's final performance provides emotional weight as an elderly man who remembers better times. His relationship with Heston creates genuine human connection that modern blockbusters sacrifice for action sequences. 6. The Parallax View, 1974.
See the very quality that gets you.
Warren Beatty investigates a shadowy organization that recruits political assassins through psychological manipulation. This paranoid thriller combines conspiracy themes with sci-fi concepts about mind control and social engineering that feel remarkably contemporary. The film's exploration of media manipulation, corporate control, and political assassination reflects 1970s post-Watergate paranoia while anticipating modern concerns about propaganda and social media influence. The Parallax Corporation's psychological testing sequences feel genuinely unsettling. Gordon Willis's cinematography creates oppressive atmosphere through shadows and architectural intimidation that digital effects cannot replicate. The practical locations and minimal special effects focus attention on psychological tension rather than spectacular action. Unlike modern conspiracy films that resolve through violent confrontation, the Parallax View maintains ambiguity about truth and power. The protagonist's investigation leads to disturbing revelations about manipulation and control that resist easy answers. The film's final sequence, where Beatty infiltrates the organization, provides genuine suspense through character development and atmospheric tension. Modern thrillers often rely on chase sequences and explosions, while this classic builds dread through psychological realism and political insight that remains disturbingly relevant. 5. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978.
Sleep. Terror grows.
Philip Kaufman's masterful remake updates the Cold War paranoia of the 1950s, original for the post-Watergate era. Donald Sutherland and Brooke Adams deliver career-best performances as San Francisco residents discovering alien pods replacing humans with emotionless duplicates. The practical effects work, using real locations and subtle makeup, creates transformation sequences that remain more disturbing than modern CGI alternatives. The pod people's gradual infiltration feels authentically threatening through performance rather than digital effects. The film's exploration of conformity, surveillance, and loss of individuality resonates powerfully in our social media age. The aliens don't invade through spectacular battle sequences, but through subtle replacement that mirrors concerns about technological dehumanization. Kaufman's direction builds mounting paranoia through careful character observation and atmospheric tension. The famous final scene provides one of cinema's most chilling endings through pure performance and practical effects. Unlike modern alien invasion blockbusters that prioritize spectacular battle sequences, this classic focuses on psychological horror and social commentary. The film understands that the most effective sci-fi addresses fundamental fears about identity, community, and human connection rather than showcasing expensive digital spectacle. 4. Stalker, 1979. Andrei Tarkovsky's philosophical masterpiece follows three men entering the mysterious zone, a forbidden area where reality operates by different rules. The stalker guides a writer and professor toward the room, which supposedly grants visitors' deepest desires. Based on the Strugatsky brothers' Roadside Picnic, the film creates a meditative exploration of faith, desire, and meaning through long takes and natural imagery. Tarkovsky's contemplative pacing emphasizes emotional and intellectual depth over action sequences. The zone's otherworldly atmosphere, achieved through practical locations in abandoned industrial sites, creates genuinely alien environments that computer effects rarely match. The decaying architecture and overgrown machinery suggest post-apocalyptic beauty. Each character represents different approaches to knowledge and fulfillment: scientific, artistic, and spiritual. Their philosophical debates create genuine intellectual tension without becoming academic or pretentious. Unlike modern blockbusters that provide easy answers and spectacular resolutions, Stalker embraces ambiguity and complexity. The film's themes about nuclear disaster, environmental contamination, and spiritual seeking feel tragically prescient while maintaining artistic integrity that contemporary sci-fi rarely attempts to achieve. 3. Solaris, 1972. Tarkovsky's space-based psychological drama provides a deeply human alternative to 2001's cold technological vision. Psychologist Chris Kelvin travels to a space station orbiting Solaris, a planet whose sentient ocean materializes visitors' suppressed memories and guilt. The film's exploration of memory, loss, and human connection feels more relevant than ever in our digital age of virtual relationships and artificial intelligence. Kelvin's confrontation with his deceased wife, recreated by the alien ocean, raises profound questions about love and consciousness. Tarkovsky's direction emphasizes natural imagery and contemplative pacing, creating a meditative experience that prioritizes emotional depth over technological spectacle. The long takes and minimal dialogue require patience, but reward careful attention with genuine philosophical insight. The production design mixes futuristic space technology with earthly elements, creating believable environments that feel lived in rather than sterile. The space station's decay and technical problems anticipate later realistic space films. Unlike modern space operas that focus on action and spectacle, Solaris proves that science fiction achieves greatest impact when addressing fundamental human concerns through imaginative scenarios. The film creates lasting emotional resonance through philosophical depth rather than expensive effects. 2. Alien, 1979. Ridley Scott's masterpiece combines space horror with blue-collar realism to create the ultimate sci-fi thriller. The crew of the commercial towing vessel Nostromo encounters a perfect organism designed solely to kill and reproduce with terrifying efficiency. H.R. Giger's biomechanical design creates a genuinely alien aesthetic that feels simultaneously sexual and mechanical. The practical creature effects, coordinated by Carlo Rambaldi, remain utterly convincing decades later through physical presence rather than digital enhancement. The film's feminist themes, centered on Ripley's survival through intelligence rather than luck, were revolutionary for the genre. Sigourney Weaver's performance created cinema's greatest action heroine while maintaining believable human vulnerability. Scott's restraint builds unbearable tension through atmosphere and suggestion rather than constant action. The industrial spacecraft design makes the setting feel like a working vessel rather than a movie spaceship. 1. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, 1977. Steven Spielberg's Alien Contact masterpiece treats extraterrestrial visitation as spiritual experience rather than military threat. Richard Dreyfuss delivers a powerhouse performance as Roy Neary, an ordinary man whose UFO encounter transforms his life and threatens his family relationships. The film's practical effects work, including elaborate miniatures and innovative lighting, creates alien spacecraft that feel genuinely otherworldly. The mothership's arrival remains one of cinema's most awe-inspiring sequences through craftsmanship rather than computer generation. Spielberg's approach to Alien Contact emphasizes wonder and communication over conflict and destruction. The musical dialogue between humans and aliens represents pure cinema, conveying complex ideas through sound and image rather than exposition. The film's themes about obsession, faith, and transcendence explore how contact with the unknown transforms human consciousness. Neary's journey from skeptical everyman to chosen witness provides genuine character development,